Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It is the Adelaide versus St Kilda review today and I'm pumped for it. We played quite well last night. We could have played better. We could have played a lot better. The way we started, we should have blown them out of the water by 400 points, but that wasn't what happened. We won by 23 points in front of a pretty full house. Not a full house, but it wasn't an empty house at the Adelaide Oval, which definitely played into things, and I'm not going to lie. Umpiring was pretty bad, but we'll get into that. I've got some notes here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 topics, notes to go through. So the first one is we won, and I've put next to that, monkey off back, confidence for next game. There are a few stats going in that we hadn't beaten Adelaide in 9 years. That's correct, we have not. And we've never won at the Adelaide Oval. We've lost there 11 times, I think, or 10 times, or 10 or 11 times, with an average losing margin of 50 points, 49.3, if you're going to be honest. If we're going to be honest with that, it's 49.3. So to win there last night in front of 30,000 Adelaide fans, we played against 26 last night, with the 4 umpires included. And yeah, I'm not going to whinge about the umpires too much because it was terrible across the board, but we'll get into that. Monkey off the back with that one. We beat Adelaide, tick. We won at the Adelaide Oval, tick, tick. We got Port Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval next week, tick, tick, question mark. Will we win that? You'll find out on Saturday night. So yeah, I was happy just to win. I really was. Playing teams like that once at Adelaide are danger games. We just got to get past them, and we did. On to the second note, umpires. I'll put next to that WTF. Yep. Oh, right. So there is an average of 32 free kicks a game as of round 5, I'd want to say. That's probably gone up or down, depending. But there were 48 free kicks paid last night. Now, I'm not saying that the game has been over-umpired by any stretch of the imagination, but when you've got 1.5 times the amount of free kicks that are usually paid. I mean, what? You know, Adelaide nearly had the average for the year. And look, I don't think it would be that hard to find 16 free kicks out of that 48 that shouldn't have been paid. I think there were probably 32 of those 48 free kicks that were deemed terrible. And when the umpires give Adelaide, how many goals they kicked? 8? I think they kicked 8. Was it 56-79? I think so. Anyway, when they give them 5, at least, probably even 6 goals through free kicks, many that weren't there, I mean, it's just, you know, they scored 2 via general play. One was Tex Walker's little dribbler off the ground, and then one was whoever kicked their last one. I think it was Ben Keys. He's actually an alright player. Terrible hairdo and terrible attitude, but good player. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, I was on Twitter all night and I absolutely blasted them, and I'm not regretting a single thing, but it was just, you know, holding the ball is just gone nuts. Brett Ratton knows it but can't say anything. Like, he got a question asked in the press conference last night, Brett, what do you think of holding the ball? And he just goes, I can't answer that. It's just like, well, there's all the answers you need. Jaron Geary took a mark. It was touched, took a mark. It's a bit dewy. He's slid, he's taken the mark, tackled straight away, no prior. He's got a bloke laying on top of him. If he can get the ball out of that, he is genuinely a god. Gets pinged, holding the ball. Free kick, Adelaide, goal. Like, that's just stupid. And it went both ways. We had some that were a bit hoo-ha, like Dean Kent's goal in the last quarter. You take them. Absolutely, you take them. Same thing happened. Bloke's fallen onto the ball. Like, not dived on it, but I think he's taken a touched mark. Tackled straight away. Can't get it out. No prior, holding the ball. Now, I'll take that because I feel like we're owed one for that one in the third quarter. Now, I'm not saying that that's how they umpire the game, but I feel like if you're going to call one, you've got to call the other. So that one, I'm fine with that being called because the other one was called. But 2 wrongs don't make a right in that one. And there needs to be something that's done about that because it's just terrible. I think they need to review that properly. I was an umpire for a while, and yeah, the game's definitely changed from when I umpire, that's for sure. Third point, role playing. Everybody played their role. Dougal Howard, best game for the club. We'll get onto that in a minute. Jake Carlisle played really, really well. Caulfield played stupidly good. Seb Ross and Brad Hill found the ball. Ross was pretty quiet, but just did his job. And Brad Hill was playing a bit more of a forward role and really pushed up forward. And Brett Ratton said that while he was playing on the wing, he was getting a bit lost, and that's why he wasn't playing too well. He was getting a bit lost in between the arcs there and wasn't really finding it. But they started him as a high half forward, just push up between the arcs, and he got a lot more of the ball, pushed through the middle, did really well, was a good receiver of the ball. Membry got into the game late, did his job. King played really well. Butler got 3 and had good pressure around the ground. It was a much better, it's a good response for last week. No passengers, again, that's the fourth note. That is another good thing. We can't have any passengers anymore, and I don't think we had any. Maybe a couple, but I give Ryan Burns the benefit of the doubt on that one, which is fantastic. It's pretty similar to the third note, so we'll move on from that. Note number 5, we found a way. We did. We needed to win that game by any means necessary, and we did. That's what that means by finding a way or found a way. We found a way to win when things got tough. I'll move on to their third quarter in a bit. But yeah, we were getting peppered in that third quarter. We were playing their game of footy. And to be fair, they were playing really, really well. Probably deserved a lot more than they got in that third quarter, but we found a way to turn that around, and that was really, really interesting. It was really good to see. It wasn't interesting, but it was really good to see that we could take those hits and come back. Winning ugly games. Jason Dunstall said this in the post-game, and I really, really like Chief Dunstall. He's fantastic at his job. Him and Nick Rewalt are 2 breaths of fresh air in the Fox Footy commentary. Winning ugly games is what you need to do. If you can win a game quite well and not play your game of football at all, or your brand that you're famous for, that is what we want going forward. It wasn't a pretty game at all. The conditions weren't favourable for either team. It was a bit dewy, a bit slippery on underfoot. Umpires weren't there. It was a bit scrappy, but we found a way to win again, and we won an ugly game of footy. So that is fantastic going forward. It shows that we can be dragged into deep water, but we can still come out of it. So that is, it's pretty positive going forward. Ryan Burns, Ronnie Burns as he's known, couple of disposals. Look, he didn't play a great game. I'm not going to lie to you, but 30,000 fans, Adelaide Oval, hostile environment. Thrown into the deep end straight away, mind you. Adelaide come out with something to prove. Look, I think he played well. Does he keep his spot? I hope so. Obviously, there are probably people that deserve his spot. But, yeah, I think you've just got to keep blooding these blokes. Look at what it's done to Clark, Caulfield, Patton, Long, although Long's out at the moment. But, 4 players that we've taken the time to build and blood, and they're playing really well now. Josh Battle's another one. So, yeah, I think he keeps his spot. He was in the right spot, had some really good pressure. He was just a bit underused, but, yeah, and he'll learn that. And, good on Ronnie Burns. Hope he has a really good career for us in the red, white and black. Jack Steele-Bogg, 26 disposals, 20 contested, 13 clearances. Holy balls, what a game. Nothing more, nothing less. He'll be the next captain of our club, whenever that may be. He's just a born leader. Dragged us out of a hole in the third quarter and just got us forward. Kicked a really nice goal as well, which I think he deserved. So Jack Steele playing a ripping season. Probably taken over DB, Dan Butler, in our best and fairest. So all power to him. Pretzel copped a really nasty headbutt from Paddy Ryder, no less. Got a really nice cut. Don't think he was concussed, but, that's fine. That's good. He probably won't come in next week. 5-day turnaround with a pretty good little gash under his eye there. Wouldn't be stopped if he was a boxer, but, I don't think he'll play next week. There's got to be a lot of Vaseline put on that cut to make that heal very quickly. Third quarter, I said, be positive about it. Took the hits, adjusted. Yeah, we were peppered in that third quarter. They were coming and coming and coming. We just found a way to get out of it. We're up against the ropes. We were slipping and weaving, and we were, blocking some punches. A couple got through. We just yeah, we just gritted that quarter out. Same with the first half of the fourth quarter. They come at us. They were within 9, and then we just turned the game on its head. We took the hits. We adjusted. After they got that goal through Tex Walker, we come back and we scored, I think, 4 in a row or 3, and then they got one late, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, we took the hits and we adjusted, and that's all I want to see is if we can play ugly footy and still win, and still play well, and still get the 4 points, and still look good, and break the curse. That's all I want. So, yeah, I'm fine with that third quarter. We're not going to win every quarter of footy. Neither's Geelong, neither's Collingwood, neither's Richmond. But, yeah, I'm really happy with that. So, yeah, we'll move on. Dougal and Paddy both played their best games for the club. Paddy dilemma. Paddy Ryder, I'll get on to the Paddy dilemma. Paddy Ryder played really, really well. Dougal Howard kicked probably the goal of his career. He's fit into the club really nicely. So, yeah, I was a bit sceptical on Dougal. He hasn't done much for me until last night, and I'm really, really positive about him and his direction. So, I'm a Dougal fan. I'm a Dougal. So, yeah. And Paddy Ryder, he played really well as well. I'll get into that in 2 seconds. I'll get into it now. It's been about 2 seconds, hasn't it? Ruck dilemma. Right. We saw Marshall play really well last week. Not last week, the week before. When Marshall's the lone ruckman, he does fantastic work because it's all on him. He doesn't have to share the load. He doesn't have to go, oh, well, if I play bad, Paddy Ryder can come in, I'll just slot down forward. If he plays bad and he's the sole ruckman, we get beaten. So, Paddy Ryder's come in, obviously he's the taller man, he's probably the stronger man, and he's fantastic in the centre bounces. He's got that clearance work, he's got that tap work, just to do really well, and that's why we dominated the clearances. Marshall, though, gets left out because he's starting up forward. He can't be around the ground as much where he is stronger. He's so strong around the ground, whereas Paddy Ryder's not, and they can't just swap that all the time. So Marshall does get a little bit lost in the shuffle there. I think that we should have backed our clearance work last night to have kept Prospect in the middle and put Ryder down forward. But look, I don't know. I think it was the right move to have Paddy in the middle. I think that that's something that was the right call to make. But does it leave Marshall out in the dark a little bit? Yeah. It'll be interesting next week. Lycett's very similar to Marshall and Ryder. He's not the greatest ruckman, but he does the job. So I think that that'll be a really interesting battle next week. I think Ryder deserves to keep his spot, but I think that we play Ryder up forward all game, or we play Prospect in the middle all game. It's sort of like, and then we either swap them, like give it, 90-10, or it's 50-50. I don't know. It's it'll work itself out. I know it will. Go on to the votes now. Steele 3, no question. 2 goes to, this is a hard one. Does it go to Dougal Howard? I think it does. Played his best game for the club, kicked a nice goal. Confidence going into next week is what he needs, especially with that forward line with Big Charlie, Robbie Gray. I don't know who else is in their forward line, but yeah, that'll be very interesting. And the 1 vote goes to Caulfield again. Now, it could have gone to Gresham, it could have gone to Billings, could have gone to a lot of people, but I think Caulfield deserves it. Again, a rock in our defence. Fantastic from him. Yeah, I'm looking forward to his career because it's going to be a bloody good one. Strap in. It'll be good. Right, that'll be it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please give us a like and a subscribe down below. Fantastic to be back on the winners list. We needed it. And now consistency is our key. Are we going to win against Port Adelaide next week? Maybe. It's going to be a tough game. Tough assignment. Them at home in front of a crowd. Going to be tough. But we're going to rise through that. Even if we lose by 2 points, man, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with an honourable loss to Port Adelaide. Just as long as we keep our spot in the 8. Wink. Yeah, that's double-edged sword, isn't it? We've got to keep winning. That's it. But preview coming on that on probably Thursday. So yeah, watch out for that. Maybe Friday even. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Cheerio, sayonara, and goodbye.